Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of TaxProTalk or hashtag TPT. This week, I was able to catch up with Mariette Martinez talking tax reform and tax planning at the Latino Tax Fest 2018. Alrighty everybody, welcome back to another edition of TaxProTalk or hashtag TPT. I'm Anthony, and I'm joined by my very special guest, Ms. Mariette Martinez.
Hi, how are you? Nice to be here.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, super excited, and we're doing it live from Latino Tax Fest. Woo!
Yeah, Latino Tax Fest 2018 here in Las Vegas. Awesome setup. Glad to have you on board.
Thank you.
To join us on TPT. I know you've been wanting to do this for quite a while.
I have. What has been taking you so long, Tony? I was starting to get hurt.
Jim likes the camera.
Oh, okay. All right, Jim. It was my turn.
There you go.
My time. Mariette's time. Yes, sharing is caring.
That's right. So we got a lot of things going on, especially with this season. A lot of education's going on at Latino Tax Fest this year, especially around tax reform.
That's right.
So what are some of the early implications for you, and just tell me what's going on.
Yeah, well, honestly, first thing, I just want to thank Intuit for being here at Latino Tax Fest. So we really needed your presence here. We needed the product, the tools, the resources, and everything Intuit does for Latinos to be here. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And yes, we're talking a lot about tax reform. We're talking a lot about not only the individual side. So those of you that don't know Latino Tax Pros, which is the organization that actually supports this organization, they focus a lot on Latino small business owners and Latino individuals. But before, like 5 years ago, it was only individuals. Well, now they have small business owners. And that's why they need Intuit and all the resources, because a lot of their community, where they started with tax preparation for only individuals, which of course we can use Intuit's tax solutions for that. Now they're supporting small business owners. So not only are they going to need ProConnect, they're going to need QuickBooks. So that's a really big deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so as we talk about, there's been a lot of talk about tax reform and everyone trying to get educated and figuring out what's going on and helping out their clients.
Yeah.
So what happened this season? How did you help your clients kind of understand more about tax reform and what implications it was going to have?
The big thing was that this year, for a lot of us, we actually had to talk to our clients again.
That's right. That's right. A lot of communication.
So, there was a lot of communication in the, probably what was it, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we had a big change and we had to talk to our clients, and then things were kind of smooth for the last few years. Then when we got a big surprise, was it the beginning of the year or was it the end of December?
Right before Christmas
Right before Christmas.
That's right.
So we got a big surprise, and so what did that mean? A lot of us had to change our entire tax season. We had to bring clients in for interviews where we could have just done them maybe virtually.
True.
Or in my case, I have a virtual practice, so I did everything through Zoom. So I had to meet with them, I had to explain to them what the implications are, but most importantly, I had to explain to them that they weren't 2017 implications.
That's right.
Right?
For next year.
So they were all nervous because they were like, well, is this going to change everything? It's 2 weeks before the end of the year. And so it was a conversation about this is 18, but what that actually did, it let us discuss tax planning. So a lot of us weren't tax planning, but now that we had all 18 a tax plan, it was really exciting because we basically told them, let's get your tax return done and let's schedule out your tax planning appointment. So right now, a lot of us, in the next few months, we're going to be doing our tax planning appointments.
Awesome. So how do you, as we talk about tax planning, how do you set that up with your clients? Is it just a quick conversation? What does tax planning mean to you, and how do you kind of demonstrate?
Yeah, it's not a quick conversation, especially in the Latino market, since we're at Latino Tax Fest. Right now in the Latino community, we have a lot of different industries. So we have service-based industries, maybe field services, so people that are out in the field. We also have professional services. We also have construction, manufacturing, wholesale. So just with understanding the industry spectrum, tax planning is so different. So some people maybe have to tax plan around assets and inventory, some of them around services, some of them around, of course, the one we're all talking about, right? The big deduction everyone wants to know about.
QBI.
Yes, exactly. So you really have to first know what industry you're working with, who your client is, and then you have to structure your entire tax planning conversation around it. So it's not just a quick conversation.
Yeah, that's it. And as we talk about these small businesses and QBI, I know you have quite the workflow around using QuickBooks Online in your practice.
Yes.
So how has that helped with that planning with your small business clients and the workflow you have there? What does that change from desktop to online meant?
Well, I would say the biggest change is that now they actually want to see their numbers. So before, they would just trust us. Oh, you're doing our numbers. The taxes get done. It was kind of like the after the fact. Okay, is everything's good? Thumbs up. Let's move forward. Now they want to get involved because they want to see what that number looks like. They're like, deduction, well,
what does it
yeah,
mean?
what does that mean? How do you calculate it? What does that number look like? And also, is there things that we have to do to make that work? Of course, there's compensation involved in that deduction as well. So it's a big conversation, but what's interesting is that they're actually excited to talk about taxes, which is really not happening.
We love tax talk.
We do. We love tax talk.
Our clients don't, not so much.
No, not really.
You know, it was great catching up with Mariette Martinez at the Latino Tax Fest. She's always such a fun character and has such great knowledge in industry thought leadership.
Yeah, loved her ideas around tax planning and really creating value for her clients. And again, here on TaxProTalk, we had the opportunity to showcase best practices from tax pros.
Absolutely. So make sure you subscribe and tune in next time on TaxProTalk or #TPT.